is up? Knob Slobbers, JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be in Major League Baseball for Tuesday, April the 27th. Game's going to be played between the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. Going for the Astros is Christian Javier, and for the Mariners is Marcos Gonzales. Current betting spread is Astros minus 175, total 9. So we bounce right back on these solo vids with the Diamondbacks team total over 3.5 from Friday. And they actually ended up going over their team total in both the doubleheader games from Sunday. Teams hitting. The sport can be quite streaky in that regard. I hope all of you take note. I then dropped my Rays first 5 bet from the live show versus the Blue Jays, but Ajita. But then come right back with a little sweat-free Mets first 5 run line winner on Sunday. Joey and Holden both nailed their bets as well for a full show sweep. It's not only the best bets, though, that you get from that show. I mean, you'll certainly find the insight we provide on all those games, or all the games, helpful. At least I hope you do. All right, so back on the home front. Mortal Kombat came out this weekend. If you have not watched it, maybe you live under a rock, or you just don't enjoy the finer things in life. I stapled my eyes open for the first 2 hours, or the 2 hours of that movie, with just a massive hard-on. Kristen was asleep 30 minutes in, but that just goes to prove how good that movie is, or was. She doesn't know good movies anyway. She'll fall asleep during classics like The Departed and Shawshank Redemption, but she won't even blink during a Hallmark movie. Okay, so juicy bet story, though, which almost cost me my house. Not my house, my friend's house. So my friend gets a hot tip about the Oscars, Chadwick Boseman being an absolute lock to win Best Actor. He was minus 700 for some time when my friend fired on that bet at a few different books. Then it moves to minus 1,500, then it's minus 1,700, then close to closing at minus 4,300. Some of the cool kids will say good CLV. Normally, Best Picture is the last award given during the Oscars, but the director of the Oscars moves Best Actor to the last award given of the night, so Chadwick's wife could give, a heartfelt speech after he wins the award. The data I was presented with, the data my friend was presented with was hard to ignore, so my friend fired pretty heavy at a few different books. Nothing major, just like a new roof for his house. Turns out Anthony Hopkins wins the award, and my friend is left with his dick in one hand and ramen noodles in the other. Moral of the story, there's no such thing as locks. My friend learned this the hard way. Except for Carl's Stone Cold Locks of the Century of the Week from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The real alphas know. Okay, so on to the play here. You guys should know by now I don't often dabble in the chalk arena. But woof, these numbers coming in here are quite tough to ignore. I really like Houston. First 5 run line here, laying the half run. Got this minus 115 bet MGM in New Jersey. It wasn't too long ago where we were actually fading both sticks from both these teams in a solo play. But now it's time to take a 180 specifically on the Astros side of things. This Astros team draws Marcos Gonzales. And this is not the best timing for Mr. Marco. Now, this Astros team comes into this start with 57 hits in their last 5 games. This even includes a 4-hit paltry performance in one of those games versus the Angels, where they gave a few of their big bats the day off. I think that was on Sunday. This Astros lineup, though, is just rolling with the sticks. Now, we know about the bit of a layoff with some of the big bats. Altuve actually also came back today. But they're all back now, and they're not getting nearly enough love in this spot. I mean, tonight they only had 5 runs through 7 innings, or actually through 8, because as I'm recording this, the game's still on. They left 8 guys on base at the end of innings, 2 double plays. I think they were 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. This whole team is seeing the ball really well, and I'd argue they should have had a lot more than 5 runs today. And now they get to draw Marcos Gonzales, who comes into this start off his best start of the season, 7 innings, 1 earned versus the Dodgers. But he drew the Dodgers when they really weren't hitting. The Dodgers had a stretch of games where they just weren't hitting. I know they kind of found a little bit of life late in that Padres series, but overall, up and down that lineup, they have a bunch of big names, but they have not been hitting. Now he walks into a Houston Astros team that currently has no easy outs from a platoon perspective. We know the Astros are filled with big right-handed bats, and Gonzales is dominating lefties thus far. That's not really all that relevant coming into this start, though. Righties against Marcos Gonzales are slugging .738 with a weighted OBA of .472. Just nuts. And couple this with Marco, for his career, being worse on the road than at home. And again, this just does not project well for him in this start. Now, if we can just agree on the juicy spot for the Astros bats, and we'll move on to Christian Javier, who's pitching for the Astros. He's due for some regression with his ERA at 1.32, but really not that much of it. I mean, xFIP at 304 and a standard FIP at 127. Line drive rate of 27%. It's a bit scary for him moving forward, but his K rate at 13 per 9 has bailed him out of some jams and should bail him out of some jams in this one tomorrow night or tonight, pending the time you're watching. You would figure his K rate plays really well against the Seattle team with 26% K rate against right-handed pitching and filled with free swingers. Now, Seattle may have come into this series with some live bats off the Boston series, but that quickly ended tonight in tonight's game in Houston. Houston's bats, though, did not miss that beat. Here's my biggest issue with this line. The market isn't fully in tune with Houston just yet. They were a tough team to back for a good stretch thus far in the year, but they spent a good amount of games missing top bats, missing some bullpen arms. His team's getting healthier, especially with the sticks, and yet the market is still hanging a pregame number of 175 versus a far inferior Seattle team. Remember, guys, market pricing is all about where value is determined. It's not so much always dogs or always big dogs where value is. If you think a line is about 40, 50 cents off on a minus 175 line, that creates a lot of value for a minus 175 line. Whether you call it chalk or not, this line's too soft. Now, you just know when these two teams meet later in the year, this line's going to be similar. If the same guys are pitching, they're going to meet later in the year with just as healthy Houston lineup coming in. This line's going to be minus 230, minus 240. Yet again, it's minus 175. So this really opens up, for me personally, the first 5 line, laying the half run at minus 115. I have this a decent amount of change off, and hence why it's just an auto bet for me on the Astros. Now, a guy like Marcos Gonzales could pitch his ass off here, but there's a little data to back this up against this version of the Astros. And Javier could implode here and put more pressure on Houston's bats. But again, the numbers aren't really supporting this either. I hang this pregame line at 230 myself, so at 175, it's a borderline steal. But I prefer to opt in the first 5 line, laying the half run, minus 115. It's just as favorable for me, and we get the assured. We definitely get the assured 5 at bats against the Mariners. So again, auto bet for me. Again, Astros first 5 minus half a run, minus 115 versus Seattle Mariners. Got that bet MGM in New Jersey. May the odds be ever in our favor. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope a tree falls right through your living room. As always, drop comments below with your thoughts on the vid or the play. Let me know who you're betting as well. Don't be a silent stalker. Remember, no one likes a silent stalker. And again, I always get back to you guys in the comments. It's a safe place. Water's warm. Dive right in. I have a wedding to go to on Thursday, so I'll be unavailable all day. But I will have my typical Friday night vid. It'll be out a little later. I'll have it out on the Friday early afternoon, so stay tuned for that. But Joey Work will have you covered the next few nights. And again, be sure to like all the videos on this channel. A lot of helpful content from a lot of different cappers. And of course, check out Spread and Tyler's daily NBA vids. Always super informative. And of course, they get the DFS guys on with them. We'll also have content in all aspects lined up for the weekend as well. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. All right, again, thank you for watching. Be sure to gamble responsibly. Stay safe, folks.